Hi everyone, I'm Joanne with Quiet Waters Farm and Craft. How many of you love to eat sweet potatoes? In my family, I'm like the only one that likes to eat them, but I have found one recipe to make that my family absolutely loves to eat sweet potatoes. So how many of you have made your own homemade flatbreads? These are so good and delicious. They're so moist. They keep up for a couple days, so you can make all different kinds of stuff with them. But you will have to try out this recipe. It is great, tastes great, and it's something that you've grown on your homestead. So that way you can make it different for your food and make it fun and interesting. And there's so many possibilities. You can eat this plain just like this, like what I do when I want a snack. Even my kids eat them. Or, make it into a burrito or whatever it is that you're wanting to add on it. So I hope that you check out this video and that you like it. So have fun watching. We've taken one sweet potato and I boiled it. You can either boil or steam it, but you just want to make sure that your sweet potato is nice and soft, and you want to take the peeling off of it, the skin, and then we're just going to mash all of our sweet potatoes together until we have it all nice and creamy, almost like a pureed. So I'm going to get this mashed up and I will be right. Okay, now that we have it all mashed up, looking pretty much pureed, or like a mashed potatoes here, we're going to start adding in some flour. We're going to add 1 cup of flour, and I'm just going to fold it into my sweet potatoes. Now once you get this worked in there, you're probably going to have to get your hands in there to thoroughly mix it up, because we're going to want it to be firm like dough. Okay. And it will stick to your fingers, so you probably want to avoid wearing any kind of jewelry when you do this. And we're just going to keep flipping it, trying to fold it in there. Just a little bit more. We'll go ahead and add there. So we've added a whole entire cup in here. So it's doing pretty good here. After we've kind of rolled it in there, it's starting to form into a ball. So then what we're going to do, lighten this up a little bit here. We're going to take it out onto our counter here. Get everything out of our bowl. And our dough, or once you've taken it out of your water and you've peeled it, if you can get it all balled up while it's still warm, it's a lot easier to work with. Now it's up to you what kind of flour you want to use. I use a wheat flour only because I buy it in bulk at one of the Amish stores down the road from us. I just kind of find it cheaper, and I don't like using white flour. I'd rather use the wheat flour. I like it best. Okay, so you don't want to add too much flour, because the more flour that you add, it's gonna make your dough hard and not make it last long. So, all right, we've got a ball. So I'm gonna grab some more flour and I will be back. Okay, so I'm gonna just sprinkle a little bit of flour on there because I just want to kind of coat the top, because I'm going to roll this into a log and I don't want it to stick to my counter. I'm going to try to keep this as much into a log form as possible. Okay, so there's that part. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half. And then we're going to cut it into 3 parts here, to where we have about the same amount. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this one. Same with this one. And I got this, it's really cool. I believe I don't even remember who I bought it off of Fundraiser, but it's a pizza slicer. It's called Cookworks. But I really like it. Yeah, I can cut pizza with it, cut dough with it. It really works quite well. I do like that. Alright. Then we're just going to take these and we're going to put them into a ball and set them off to the side. I'm going to get a little bit of flour on there so it doesn't stick to your hands. Some of them are a little bit bigger than the other ones, but that's alright. Okay. Last one. Okay. Then what we're going to do is mix out our dough here. Alright, we want to coat our rolling pin. And we're just going to roll these out here. Move some of my stuff back. Let me move this guy back just a little bit. Okay. Put my balls over here. Alright. I'm just going to coat that a little bit. And we're just going to flatten these out. And I do it a couple times and I flip it so that way make sure it gets coated on both sides. Flip it once more because it was a little bit sticky. Man, every time I make a video my nose runs. Oh! Okay. And that's about how thick I want it. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my pan. I'll bring you over here so you can see. I have a cast iron skillet here that I'm using, and I have it on medium heat here. I had it on a 4, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit. But you want to leave it about 30 to 40 seconds on this side, and then we're going to flip it over, let it cook then, and then we'll flip it back over, and we might leave it just a little bit longer each time we have to flip it, but it's going to start bubbling up, and so that's what we want to see. Now I did not grease, well, I put a little bit of grease on my pan, but not much. So I'm just going to flip it over for about 30 seconds. And while that's doing that, I'm going to roll out another ball. Alright, we're going to give it another flip. Just like that. It'll take it a little bit, but you're just going to continue flipping it over. Now the cast irons, they take a little bit longer to heat up than a normal size pan. So it might take it a little bit longer to bubble. I preferably like this iron skillets because number one, you know, you coat them with your butters or your oils or your lard to freshen them up. They're very easy to clean, they're very easy to cook on, and they, you know, you can turn your heat off, but this will stay warm a little bit longer than a normal pan that you would buy at a store. So I preferably like doing this. We have a big humongous griddle that we use for our bacon, and it's just perfect. It fits all the way on our stove, or we can even cook on our wood stove. You know, that's the other benefit of having cast iron, is you can cook on it outside, or you can cook on it inside, or you can cook on a wood stove. So those are the really neat things about cast iron. It's starting to do something. It's starting to cook all the way around the edges, so it's going to work its way in the middle. So it's looking pretty good. Now when we get ready to take this off, you want to have a plate or preferably a bowl, not a deep bowl. I'll show you the bowl that I use. I'm going to be using this bowl to where it's just got a small lip on it, to where I can take one of my towels. Now you can use a tea towel or your kitchen towels, and you're going to lay it in here. You don't want to use paper towels or napkins because those will dry them out. And you kind of, if you want a harder flatbread, then you can use paper towels. But if you want it to be soft and kind of flimsy like a tortilla, then you want to put a towel in there to help keep your tortilla moist. So see, I'm just going to take my towel here, and then when I get one in there, I can take the other part and I can fold it over and keep them nice and warm, and to where they're still soft when I want to eat them. So when they get done, I'll plop them in there. Starting to steam up. Smells really good too. And it's starting to bubble up right here in the middle, finally. You know, these do take a few minutes to make, but you get to make 6 tortillas out of just 1 sweet potato. And you could even make them smaller if you'd like. You could probably make up to 8 out of 1 if you're doing like a mini tortilla. Or I guess you could call it a flatbread. Everybody's got their own little names for them. So we've got a bubble here, and we have a bubble right there. So it's starting to bubble up really well, and it's starting to get a little bit harder. So that just shows that it's cooking. It's starting to bubble up even more right there. Looks so good. You can see where it's bubbling up all right here. It's turning out really, really good. I'm really excited about this. You know, you can eat these by themselves. You can put peppers and onions on them. You can do it as a chicken wrap or whatever you'd like. You know, this is also, you know, for vegans, this is a good choice for vegans. Something that you can do with your sweet potatoes, something different to eat if you are a vegan. And we're just kind of waiting until it's doing pretty good. You don't want it too mushy if you touch around your edges. Still a little bit mushy over here. It's starting to get a little bit more firm. it's starting to bubble up there and in the middle and on the sides, and starting to get a little bit crispy. They just look so good. And you can even smell them. Not like a burnt smell, but you can pretty much know when it's with the smell when it's done. Okay, I'm just gonna let this cook. Probably this is the last flip that I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna get another one on here. You know, with your flour that's on here, it's not going to stick to the bottom since you've got flour in this, so there's no reason to grease your pans. You just do it like this. Alright, we're going to do our final flip, and we're going to get ready to take it off. You can hear it sizzling. It's and it looks so delicious. I can't wait to eat them. Okay. So we're going to take these off, like we said, and we're just going to put them in here in our towel, like this, and we're just going to fold it up. Now I'm going to finish cooking on my tortillas. Here, my sweet bread tortillas, that's what I like to call them, but you can call them flatbreads, whatever. But once I get them done, I'm just going to put them all in here so that way they stay nice and soft. Now if you want them a little bit crispy, then I would recommend putting them on a paper towel or whatever it is that you like to do. So I hope that you've liked this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my channel. Share this with your friends. Share this with your vegan friends. This is a great way to use up your sweet potatoes. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and please comment below if you like or if you've tried this video, or blah, blah, blah. Can't even talk. Yes, please comment below if you've tried this recipe, and you all have a blessed day, and thanks for watching.